Hello and welcome to BISP Solutions. My name is Ankita. Today we are going to continue with Oracle data management tickets. So today we have ticket 110 in which we are going to load trial balance data using concatenate string expression. Okay, so to learn how to use it, we will first go to the user interface. In this, first of all, I will be selecting navigator through which I will go to the data exchange. Under the data exchange, I will first click on action and then on the applications. Under the application, we can see that I have already created here the data source as file because we are using here a flat file. Okay, so after this, we have also created here the target application named concat vision. Okay, now I'll click on it. So you can view that here in the given case I have already mapped the dimension to the data table column. For account, we have the account member data table column name. For entity, we have entity. For HSP view, we have UD1. Then for product and version, rest of the dimensions, that is period, scenario and years, are all will be these all POVs will be provided to us into the location. Okay, now after that I will then go to back and then using navigator again I'm going to select data management and integration. In this, I will click on setup, and under the setup I will then click on the import format under integration setup. Under this, I'm going to define the import format, which will help us to create a connection between the source file and to the target application. Okay, so before this, I would first like to show you our data file. So here is our data file. In column number 1, we have accounts, and column number 2, we have entity. Here in column number 3, we have NA, which is North America. Okay, and we are this B and C column are disjoint figures, which we are going to connect using concatenate function. Then in the fourth column we have the product, and lastly we have the amount column with us. This is the data of the trial balance, so that is why we have this data in debit credit format. Okay, after this I will go to the import format and will create an import format here, name concatenate data, and then I, with the help of the search icon, I'm going to select the source file here. So my source file is going to be file, as we are using here flat file, which is a comma delimiter. Then here I will click on reset and then the search icon. From there I will click on the concat_vision, which is the target application that we have created. Then for file type, I'm going to select here the delimited numeric data, as we are going to load data here in a single column format. If it would have been the multi-column data, then in that case we need to select here the multi-column numeric data. Okay, now after saving it, I will then map the source column and the target application. So for that, I will first copy it, and field number here is going to be 1, as the column number A in our CSV file we have the account dimension members. Okay, after that I'm going to map the amount here. So here in the given case we have amount in column number 3, 4. In column number 5 we have the data with us. After saving it, I will then add an expression here named sign. So expression type is here is going to be sign, because we can see that in our data file, we have the debit credit into the data column in our amount column. Okay, so here I'm going to write the debit comma credit as the value. Then after providing the value, I will then click on save. After that, I will be mapping my entity dimension here. So entity is available to us in column number 2. So after mapping entity, okay, after mapping entity, I will then add here the dimension row named entity again. As in the given case, we want to concatenate our entity with NA using underscore. So here it is going to be 110 underscore NA. We want the data, we want the entity dimension in this format. Okay, so for that we are using concatenate function. Okay, so to use the concatenate, I will then first add the dimension entity again here. After that, I will then click on entity, and here I will provide the field number as any. Here, for example, I'm taking it as 1. After that, I will write here, mention here underscore under expression column, and then I will save it. Again, I'm to add one more column here and one more row for entity dimension. Under this, again, I will be mentioning here entity, and here I will make use of this column number 3. Let me delete this first. Okay, after saving it, we are going to use here the column number 3, okay, which we are going to connect with the column number 2 here. So here we are going to mention the field number as 3. As we can see that NA is already mentioned in column number 3 in the RCSV file. After that, I will save it, and then I'm going to map the HSP view dimension. So HSP view dimension, we are going to use a field number 1, okay, and it is going to be base data. Here we are doing hardcore mapping as this particular dimension is not available to us in our data file. Then for product, I'm going to select here field number 4. After that, version dimension is going to be field number 1 again, as here we are going to do a hardcore mapping once more. Okay, so here we are done with the mapping part in the import format. Now we will move forward to the location, and I'm going to add a location here where we provide the POVs. So here I will name the location as LOC concatenate underscore data. Now here, with the help of the search icon, I'm going to provide the input format. So after providing the input format, we can automatically view the source and the target application. After reviewing it, I will then click on save. Okay, after providing the location, I will go to the period mapping. So for that, I will then again go back to the data integration. Under data integration, I will click on action. Under action, I will select period mapping. Under the period mapping, here our target application is concat vision. Okay, so here I will save it, and then I'm going to add a period here. So our period is going to be November 22. Okay, so after selecting the period here, I will then click on save. Similar goes with the source mapping. So under the source mapping, here the source type is file, source is going to be the file again, and the calendar here we are going to provide as CL. After providing these information, I'm going to save it, and then with the help of this plus sign, I'm going to add the period over here. It should be exactly the same as that of we have done in the application mapping. So here again, I'm going to mention the period as NOV22. After providing the period under the source mapping, I will then save it, and then I'm going to close it. After that, again I will click on action and I'm going to do the category mapping here. So yeah, here we can see that under the global mapping we already have actual category available, so we don't have to do anything over here. Now I will again go back to the data management. Under the data management, I will then go to the workflow queue. Under the workflow, I'm going to select the data load mapping. Before data load mapping, we will first select the location that we have created. So here we have provided a location name LOC underscore concatenate data. Then we have to provide the period, which is already November 22, and the category is actual. Okay, after this I will click on OK, and here we are going to do a like mapping for all the dimensions here. So in the given case account dimension, I will then do the like mapping and name the rule here, then data. Again we are going to do the like mapping. For entity we will again do the like mapping here, but however in the target value we will be providing the entity for which we are loading the data. In the target value we are loading the data for entity 110. So after providing the entity here 110, I will then provide the rule name, then I will do the like mapping for HSP view here, then product dimension is to be mapped. Lastly we have the version dimension. This is again to be mapped using like mapping. After we are done with the mapping, we will first review whether we have mapped all the dimensions or not. Okay, so we are good to go. We have mapped all the dimensions. After that I will click on data load rule in data load, and here I'm going to add a data load rule. So here I will name it as DLR underscore concatenate data. Here the category is going to be actual, and with the help of the search icon I'm going to select the import format. So it is IMF underscore concatenate data. Here I'm going to add a file. I have already uploaded the file in it, so it is data load underscore t underscore 115. Okay, after providing the file I will save it, and then I will click on execution. So for that, first of all I will only go for the import from sources. Okay, after it is done successfully, then we will be exporting the data. Okay, so we are done with the import and we have got a green tick. It means the data is being imported and validated. Now again I will go back to the data load rule and execute it again. Here I'm going to import and export it. After that I will run the rule. After that I will refresh it. Okay, so we got a green tick here again, so our data is successfully exported. Okay, so to view the data I'm going to create a data form first. So for that I will first go to the navigator. Under navigator I will click on form. Under create and manage, here I will add a data form. Data form will be named here as concatenate data. Okay, we can view this in a smart view as well. However, there is some issue in my smart view application, so instead of using a smart view I'm validating the data using data form here. Okay, So version is going to be working version, scenario is actual. So here we are only creating a simple data form. Product is going to be our product is going to be P underscore 130, and for account I'm going to select the member using edit here. I will click on all accounts, balance sheet, total asset. Under current asset I will be selecting the member here as 140, and then lastly 150. Okay, after that here I'm going to select the period as FY22 and the period here is November. After creating the data form I will click on save. Okay, under the preview I will view the form. Okay, so we can view the data that we have loaded here. Let me take the screenshot of the same. Spring. Okay, I will take this to the. So here is our data available to us, that is 15,000 for debit. It is a positive data. However, in case of the credit, the data is negative as it is an asset. Okay, so this is how it is being shown into our application. And in the data load workbench we can view that in under the source entity the data is the entity is named as 110 underscore NA, which we have connected using the concatenate function. Okay, and this target is our 110 entity where we did the hardcore mapping for data under the data load mapping. Okay, so this is how we load a data, and for any more queries please feel free to ask. Thank you.